everyone, and welcome to Tuesday. Yesterday we filmed a vlog with the GH4, and today we are doing that same thing. We're going to be doing one more tomorrow as well. We're kind of putting it through different trials, if you will, because this is also a different trial. Also, we may sound a little different than if we were doing like a male video or whatever, because we normally have the mic down here, and right now it's on top of the camera, so we apologize for that. Also, some of you might be expecting us to talk about the fact that today is the vlog's birthday, and the vlog completed its 6th year. But we're going to do that tomorrow. Tomorrow we're just going to talk about how the 7th year is beginning, instead of talking now
about how 6th year wrapped up.
Yeah, because instead we had dinner tonight, and in the process we finished Dragon Ball Season 4. So this is going to be our Dragon Ball Season 4 review. This is the Season 4 as put together by Funimation. And honestly, okay, before I talk, because we've done more of these reviews. This is our 4th one, because we've done one for every single season. How did you feel about the season?
I liked it.
Because I never really asked you about it while we were watching it.
It's a good season.
I think it's a good season.
There's some parts that felt long. But
not Muscle Tower long.
Yeah.
Muscle Tower. I think Muscle Tower still takes the cake for me for sections of Dragon Ball where I was like, please end. Please.
There's a lot more.
The fighting, the series has really progressed, and the evolution of it being let's go hunting for Dragon Balls thing has really progressed. Also, I should have remembered, but there's going to be some spoilers for Season 4, so make sure that you have at least watched up to and through Season 4 of Dragon Ball before you continue. Yeah, Dragon Ball starts with you know, a tale of adventure and things like that, and then they're going and getting the Dragon Balls, but as time goes on, more and more of the martial arts is actually introduced, and it really comes to a head in Season 4, just because it does feel like there's a lot more fighting, and even like with what you said specifically, like in the past seasons, there's been like the World's Martial Arts tournaments and stuff, and people are fighting, but now they're starting to get, it's not just punches and kicks, they're getting into the crazy beams and all the stuff, and King Piccolo is like charging lasers and things like that, so I definitely, you know, understand what you're saying there. Though I think that this season feels really weird in terms of like...
What's in it?
Well, in terms of like how quickly King Piccolo is introduced.
Yeah. I
think it feels really unnatural in a way. I think that's the only thing that kind of bugs me, is that the entire story is focused around the World Martial Arts Tournament. And actually this season starts with the end of that, with, you know, Tien and Goku and them doing their thing. But
it's the end of it.
Well, yeah, well, it's like half of it, really, because they hadn't even started fighting yet. So you're watching that, and you're like, okay, cool. We've been looking forward to this. Now we're going to learn more about Tien and Chaozu, and oh man, we can see like Tien kind of struggling with his desires and morals and things like that. And then, before the World Martial Arts Tournament's even over, well, I mean, like right when it ends, Crillon dies, and you're like, oh, okay. And then like I think it's like the next episode where it's like.
And this is King Piccolo's backstory.
Yeah, like they introduce. Well, I think it's the episode of Crillon Dies, I think, where they have the Mark of the Demon on Crillon, and then Roshi's like, "Oh no, I have a terrible story," and they tell the terrible story, and I'm like, man, this is getting introduced really fast. And then the next episode, King Piccolo is like shown, and Emperor Pilaf's like, "We got you back," and it just felt really fast.
Yeah,
because it's. Some of it has to do with me watching Z and knowing there's a lot of impending doom. It's always like, this thing is coming. Fortunately, we have 20 episodes to think about it, but like, this thing is coming. And even in Dragon Ball, there's build-up. There's a good bit of build-up for different situations. Like remember when they had to fight Tao?
Yeah.
And there's a few episodes of like, oh man, what are we gonna do? And this, when bringing Piccolo into the scene, just feels really weird, because all of a sudden it's like, Krillon's dead, and now there's the worst thing ever is here. And it wastes no time becoming the worst thing ever either. There is no build-up for Piccolo, I think. It's just, suddenly he's here, and he's killing everyone.
He's destroying cities.
He's destroying cities and taking over the world, and like that all happens in the span. Like Piccolo is introduced, and he is on the almost takes over the world, all in the series, all in the span of like 20 episodes, and that's kind of crazy because in Z there's stuff that happens and it takes a lot longer. You know, it's just, I don't know. It felt really, really fast. That said. There were. I did like this the season as a whole.
We got to see Corrin again.
I was about to say we got to see Corrin again. Corrin becomes a more valuable character, I think, in a way.
Yeah.
I mean, just getting to spend some screen time with him in general, I think, is really, really nice. But he does become a more important character. Also, Yajirobe, who. And I'm not gonna say anything here to spoil Z, for your sake and for anyone else's sake. But I was surprised a little bit by how cool and heroic Yajirobe is in Dragon Ball. I'll just say that because in Z he definitely has his moments, but overall he's kind of like a secondary character.
Yeah.
And in this season when he's introduced, like he's a big part of it. Like, he is on the adventure with Goku, and it's really cool to see how he meets Goku and things like that. So, I don't know. I liked Season 4, but it felt really... like, it wasn't varied.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
It was all kind of, we need to kill Piccolo.
Yeah. It's pretty much the entire thing. Also, it's really cool because having... I say it all the time. Having seen Z, but having seen Z, knowing... having seen Z, knowing what happens, it's really cool.
Because you've seen Z.
Well, yeah. But, like, I'm saying for what happens next. What happens in Season 5.
Yeah.
Because, like... well, I can even say this, because you saw this. Like, on the very last episode, Season 4, when they fight, when King Piccolo is dying, he makes one last baby and fires it off into the Arctic. And, like, I know about that. And I'm like, oh snap! There it is! It happened! And like, you're gonna get to see that, so... sorry.
Is it gonna kind of be like when Krillon's like, Goku, I'll go get your, power pole?
I mean...
is it gonna be like that?
No one dies. I mean, if anything, it's the opposite, because Crillon died. This is the creation of life.
No, I was talking about your response to when that was going
on. Oh, yeah. I got really excited because I was like, oh, man, Crillon died.
They're all, like, going to celebrate, and Krillon's like, Goku, I'll go get your stuff. And he's running away, and there's, like, this sad music, and it's, like, slow motion. He's like, ha, 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 ha. And Steven's like, why is this so weird right here? And I was like, it's probably foreshadowing. And you sat there for a second, and you were like, oh, my God. And then you were like, Crillon dies. And I was like... I mean, it was foreshadowed to me, but...
yeah, it quickly occurred to me because, in Z, unless I'm just misremembering...
because you've seen Z.
I've seen Z, but in Z, that's referenced. That's referenced that Crillon dies. So that was the throwback for me to go, oh... well, I might be misremembering that. There might be people watching and be like, they don't reference Crillon dying, in which case I guess I just internally really wanted Crillon to die, and I guess I got my wish. But yeah, I really enjoyed Season 4. It wasn't as varied, I think, as past seasons, just because it was basically finishing up something we had already started and looked forward to in the martial arts tournament, and then everything else was just, Piccolo! Watch out for King Piccolo!
You know who else came back?
Who came back?
Snow.
Oh, Snow. Snow and Ader. Mm-hmm. Snow and Ader. And then we also got to meet not only King Piccolo, but his other bandmates. Piano, tambourine, drum.
Who's the other one?
There was another one I can't.
That was like there for this much time.
It was one he told to go kill Goku. And then Yajirobe ate him, and it happened in like 2 episodes, and I don't remember the name of the character, but forgettable. And Yajirobe has a bigger appetite than even Goku. Anyway, overall, good stuff, and I continue to enjoy Dragon Ball. There's so much stuff that I haven't I didn't know about just for the fact that I've never seen it.
But you've seen.
Z. I've seen Dragon Ball Z.
Have you?
I have. And I said it in some of the other reviews that we've done, but like seriously, if you've seen Dragon Ball Z, you should really go back and watch this series. I think I might have enjoyed up to this point Dragon Ball more than Dragon Ball Z. Although I feel like now having had all of this backstory, I think Dragon Ball Z would mean a lot more. Like, just because when Dragon Ball Z starts, and this isn't a big spoiler, but like when Dragon Ball Z starts, you're introduced to all these characters that throughout the course of the series...
They already have a history.
They already have a history, and that history doesn't get to be explained. And like, I remember being, like, at the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, like, who is Tien and who gives a crap, you know? But if you watch Dragon Ball, you're like, oh my god, like, Tien is like on the battlefield with Goku when they defeat, you know, King Piccolo. Like, at one point, Tien saves Goku's life. Like, that's all stuff that's like, you don't hear about in Z. It's just like, Tien's that guy, you know? And I don't know. There's characters that are really important throughout Dragon Ball that are a lot less important in Z. And I think it'd be there's probably references made to some of that stuff that you don't get unless you've seen the original. So once again, highly recommended. If you haven't seen the original Dragon Ball, you should really check it out, because I've really enjoyed it. And now
on to season 5.
On to season 5, and the last of it. I think there's only like 28 episodes or something, and then the entire Dragon Ball series will be done. And honestly, at this point, Mal and I have been trying to decide what will happen next, if we'll go to Z or Kai, because up to this point I've been like, we're gonna watch Kai. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, well, we're gonna miss out on filler, and generally filler is like, people are like, oh, you don't want to see filler, but there's some really good, funny filler in Z, so I don't know. I might take a poll or something to try and decide what we should do, because I'm not entirely certain, but
okay.
We have time. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the clarity, I don't know, of the GH4. We're still messing around with it, and we're still learning stuff about it. It might be overexposed. It does look a little bright. I don't know. Whatever, I might fix it in the post. And there will be another vlog shot with the GH4, I believe, tomorrow. And then we'll put it away, and it'll be used for
some other things that aren't vlogs.
Some other things that aren't vlogs, and then also mail and Q&A.
Those are things that aren't vlogs.
Some things that aren't vlogs. You guys will learn more soon. Thanks for watching, and let's meet back tomorrow, shall we? So this actually tastes like a cheeseburger?
Kinda.
It doesn't smell good.
Just throw it in your mouth. It's reminiscent.
There are flaming corpses. Oh, they're the spider splicers. And they're on fire, and they don't know where I am, and they're like slowly dying.